Hi, my name is Jujin Tang. Today I am going to discuss the case study which titled Parental Physical Punishment and Adolescent Adjustment. In addressing my topic number 1, which is asking the question, is punishment an effective behavior modification strategy in children? After a weeks of research, my point of view of the topic is no. I think punishment is not an effective way in correcting children's behaviors. The research is currently conducted in 2014, which is this year. The aim of my study is to examine the relationship between parental physical punishment and the children's misconduct. Moreover, investigates whether a physical punishment is related to depressive symptoms from age 12 to 16 and whether parental warmth can moderate the negative effect of physical punishment over the course of adolescent development. Author hypothesizes that the ongoing parental physical punishment increase child misconduct, and reciprocally, adolescent misconduct elicites an increase in physical punishment. In these studies, 862 families were volunteered to participate in the study, with the requirement for child aged only 12 to 16 years old. The data is collected in 3 ways. In the first way, data collected when the adolescents were at the age of 12. For the second way, data are collected when the children at the age of 14, and at the third way, the data were collected at the age of 16. In addition, parents are also need to complete a survey. The style of questionnaire is indirect. For example, in evaluating depressive symptoms, this scale began with the phrase such as, "In the past 2 weeks, how often have you had these feelings?" Items were, "I'm sad, I feel like crying," or "I feel like I hate myself," and more. As a result, children will feel more comfortable in answering these questions because there are choice to select. After the collection of data, the link between the parental physical punishment and the adolescent misbehavior is established, shown in the table 1. It has the main of the research for children at the age of 12, 14, 16, and the parents research result at the bottom, and the depression age of 12, 14, 16. 82% of the adolescents had data for all 3 ways, and an additional 8% had data for 2 ways. The statistic shows approximately 38% of mothers and 27% of fathers reported that they physically punished their children at age 12. 28% of mother and 22% of father at age 14, and 12% of mother and 10% of father at the age of 16. Both mother and father frequency of using physical punishment decrease over time. And now I am going to talk about the conclusion and the results that are found in the tables of the studies. The first relationship is the physical punishment and misconduct. The cross-leg models show that physical punishment in 1 year predicted adolescent misconduct in the next year, such that higher level of mother and father punishment at age 12 and 14 predicts greater misconduct at age 14 and 16. Respectively, the reciprocal relation is held. Conversely, a higher level of children misconduct at the age of 12 and 14 will lead to a greater physical punishment at the age of 14 and 16. And this is the cross-leg model that is shown. The parent physical punishment is directly related to the misconduct and which leads to a mother's physical punishment. In addition, for this relationship, the parenting wolf is also studied. In order to test the effect of the parental wolf, the parents are divided into 3 groups. The first group is the high wolf group, and the second one is the medium wolf, and the third one is the low wolf. Well, in summary, the multi-group findings suggest that physical punishment predicts an increase in adolescent misconduct over time, and adolescent misconduct elicites more parental physical punishment over time, equally across the three levels of groups, which indicates that parental wolf cannot moderate the negative effect of physical punishment. The second relationship is between the physical punishment and depressive symptoms. Depressive symptoms means when the children is feeling down or depressing, or when they feeling sad, upset because the behavior of the adults. The cross-leg model showed that the physical punishment in 1 year predicts adolescents' depressive symptoms in the next year. So it's like the physical punishment and the child misconduct. And this is again the table shows the relationship between the punishment and the depressing symptoms. Father physical punishment, which leads to depressive symptoms and which would lead to mother's physical punishment. Therefore, we found more evidence that a negative punishment is not beneficial for children. And in addition, the parental warmth is again compared with this group. And the group findings suggest that physical punishment predicts an increase in adolescent depressing symptoms over time equally across 3 levels of maternal and paternal warmth. Again, it's like the previous relationship that a parental warmth cannot moderate the negative effect of physical punishment. In conclusion, and it appears that a use of physical punishment does not function as parents generally intend. Physical punishment not only not helping the misconduct, but which would lead to an increase in misconduct, moreover, depressive symptoms in children. Which links to my point of view about the topic number 1, that punishment is not an effective way in addressing. And I chose this article because it has a variety of informations. Well, it studies many relationships, for example, that I discussed before, physical punishment and depressing symptoms, physical punishment and child misconduct, and in addition, the parental wolf is taking into account in considering whether it is a solution in moderating the negative effect of the physical punishment. Finally, the limitations are exposed in this study. Firstly, the research is using a self-reported, which is a questionnaire and survey, and the fathers and mothers or children may be underreport their use of physical punishment. Secondly, the children in this research is restricted as the age of 12 and to 16, while sometimes children are growing or maturing at the early age before 12. Therefore, the resource and the result may be biased or incomplete. In the future, all age of children should be studied in relation to the issues. And finally, the adolescents in the study were from two-parent families. This is a small variety of groups, which means the research does not include families that are divorced or single parents. Thank you for listening.